What in the world is going on with the weather? Now this ain't normal. Australia towns blanketed with rare snow in a wild weather event, thickest layers of snow in decades. At the same time, we've got huge volcanoes erupting the first time in 600 years. And not only that, 6 volcanoes now erupting in the wake of 8.8 megaquake as a ring of fire roars to life after the first eruption in 600 years. And if you guys haven't seen the air quality alerts, check out this map. We're gonna go over how air quality is about ready to probably get worse, and you might wanna be ready for it. Already getting reports millions of Americans warned to stay inside today amid heart attack and stroke warnings, risk of coughing and eye irritations, and breathing problems. We've got more earthquakes popping up in New York City, New Jersey, more fires getting more and more out of control, more earthquakes popping up, and I've already warned you about the hurricanes, and it looks like we might have a doozy that's about ready to plow through Florida. Stick around, most likely information that will affect you coming right up. Hey guys, my name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. And if you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most important, news and awareness that affects you, be sure to start this video off with a like, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date, and let's begin. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for starting this off with a like. It really helps it reach more folks and keeps more people informed. Now, first off, I want to hit what's close to home. And one thing is to talk about all the hurricanes that we're yet to see, which is quite a few, and what we might be seeing here soon. Now, one of the guys I follow when it comes to weather is Ryan Hall, y'all. And he just tipped me off on this potential hurricane that will most likely hit Florida. And if it strays a little bit west, it could get really bad.
The first time this season, a full-on hurricane is on its way to the U.S. Here's a look at Tropical Depression 9. Once it gets a little bit stronger, we're going to be calling it Tropical Storm Hermine.
Now, the crazy thing about this one is it could turn back. Now, as Ryan always says, you never know what's going to happen, but we do know that it's traveling up slowly and it could pick up steam as it starts to hit that warm water. So as you guys can see, forecast models are showing that this thing is surely coming on up and expected to pick up steam. So now what they're saying is if this thing hits Cuba, watch out Cuba, it could disrupt it, and by the time it gets to Florida, be like a category 1, category 2. But if this thing starts to veer west, it has time to go over all of these super warm waters around Cuba instead of hitting Cuba, almost being like sticking a stick in the spokes. This thing could develop into one hot, heavy one to hit Florida.
All the way over to North Carolina should be paying attention to this thing, but don't be scared to be prepared. And
meaning North Carolina, yep, watch out. But that's why I tell you guys to subscribe, because I'll always keep you guys posted. That way you can be more prepared. But that's not the only thing close to home we need to be worrying about. Now, we've got a lot more smoke that's going to be affecting much more of the United States, but we've also got this happening, which is picking up fast. California wildfire explodes to over 72,000 acres. Air quality alerts in place. They're saying that over 1,000 firefighters continue to battle the wildfire in California that has burned over 72,000 acres, prompted evacuation orders, and has caused 3 injuries, according to officials. Now, for the people that aren't even close, what does reach you is the smoke. And the toxins in the smoke are not healthy. In fact, it's not the only area. There's tons of areas in the United States that are getting affected really, really bad. Right here you can see a map. A lot of this stuff is going to be coming down from Canada. One little shift of the wind and our entire United States could be plumed in this toxic smoke. In fact, a lot of areas are getting alerts on their phone. Air quality alert, much like our friends in Michigan and Wisconsin. Right here it reads, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has issued an air quality advisory for all of Wisconsin. What? Meaning the PM2.5 AQI is expected to reach the unhealthy for sensitive groups to unhealthy level. They're talking about all of Wisconsin. So the thing is this is not gonna get any better. We've seen it before. A lot of times it takes winter time for these fires to completely go out. What can you do? Be more prepared. I did a video a long time ago and talked about an affordable, high quality air filter in case you guys don't have one. I also talked about how you can make one at home if you don't have the funds to go to that level of getting the really high fancy ones. So these are the ones that I've used. I feel like for getting good ones in your home, best bang for the buck up. And if not, you can also learn how to make one yourself just by going to Home Depot or buying it on Amazon. Most important thing here is keeping you and your family safe. I'll put links to the video, links to air filters, links to the how-to on the home one down in the description and the pinned comment. Because like I said, chances are we're just seeing the beginning of this smoke inhalation issue. With that, crazy weather, right? All around the world. I mean, seriously, Australian towns blanketed with rare snow in a weather event. So just real quick on this one, several towns in eastern Australia were blanketed with their thickest layer of snow in decades as wild weather swept through the area over the weekend, causing floods, standing vehicles, and cutting power to thousands of homes, authorities said. Get this, a cold air front dropped as much as 16 inches of snow on parts of northern New South Wales on Saturday, the most since mid-1980s. Neighboring states of Queensland said it's the first time in 10 years that they've seen this. But I know half of you guys are thinking, yeah, lots of weird weather phenomenons all around the world. It almost makes you wonder, and I've seen the debates, could it be weather warfare? I don't know. What is going on in Russia? Krashenikov volcano erupts for the first time in 600 years. It may be linked to a massive earthquake, is what they're saying. They're saying the volcano erupted on August 3rd, spewing ash plumes that reached about 4 miles high. And they're saying it's been 600 years since this thing has went off. Now we know that it went 4 miles high, but we don't know about the threat it was on populated areas. And they're saying that it's linked to a massive earthquake that hit Russia less than a week earlier that caused the tsunami warnings in multiple countries. Now I told you about that just the other day, and it's not the only thing happening over there. Russian coast hit by tornadoes and flooding, with bridge collapsed and houses submerged. They're saying a state of emergency has been declared by the Tarpsy region of Russia due to severe flooding. According to the public telegram board, 25 houses in this area, 9 houses in another, 25 in another territory, another 20 have all been reported flooded. Just kind of wild that, you know, there's a little bit of tension and then all of a sudden a lot of weather stuff starts happening. It's got to be just a coincidence, right? But it's not just that one. 6 volcanoes now erupting in wake of the 8.8 mega quake as Ring of Fire roars to life after the first eruption in 600 years. Another article. Right here's a neat little image that you guys can see exactly where that thing took place.
As we've been telling you, we've been following breaking news of a 3.0, what appears to be a 3.0 magnitude earthquake that originated in New Jersey. Let's get over to my colleague, Jessica Formoso, who had to shift gears right now, but I understand you've been able to look into this a little bit. What have you got?
That's right, Arthur. Well, first of all, I just want to say that I was actually at my desk when I felt the shake, and for a second I said, wait, is there construction in the building? And I realized it's, you know, past 10 o'clock and that couldn't be. But then I just let it go until we started getting reports that, yes, indeed, this, like we've been reporting, was an earthquake that originated in Harrisburg, New Jersey. We're talking about a 3.0 quake. Right now, no word of damages at this point, but city officials here in New York City are asking residents to call 311 and if they have felt or any damage to their homes or need help right away. I can tell you this, though, from people who have been calling us and texting us, it wasn't only felt here in New York City, but also as far as Long Island and Westchester County as well. I did speak to some relatives who live in New Jersey. I have a sister-in-law in Berkeley Heights.
Anyway, quakes happening all over the place. Even Dominican Republic rattled by a 5.7 earthquake felt all the way down in Puerto Rico. If you ask me, these weather events are picking up. Let me know down in the comments if you guys agree that there's just a little bit more craziness when it comes to these weather event patterns all over the world. It seems like it's picking up. Let me know if I'm crazy or if I'm right on that, but I think that it's tipping the needle on having a pretty eventful rest of the summer, especially when we're getting news headlines like this. Millions of Americans warned to stay inside today amid heart attack or stroke warnings. Can you believe that? Let me dive into this because this is interesting. Millions of Americans have been urged to stay indoors and close their windows as thick smoky haze blankets large swaths of the U.S. The National Weather Service has placed 12 states in Midwest and Northwest under orange air quality alert today, warning outdoor exercise could cause coughing, eye irritation, and breathing problems. Now, where's this coming from? It says the alerts were issued after wildfire smoke blew across the border from Canada and it ain't done. I'm telling you, it could get real bad, which is experiencing the second worst fire season on record. More than 4,000 blazes have been recorded so far, with around 700 still burning. Now, what is the orange alert? It says the orange alert is aimed at sensitive groups such as very young children, older adults, those with underlying conditions such as asthma or respiratory disease. But officials at the NWS told DailyMail.com that the healthy adults in the affected states should consider limiting outdoor activity. But I know you guys are wondering, the title said millions of Americans warned to stay inside today amid heart attack or stroke warnings. It says breathing in smoke from wildfires can irritate the airways and cause trouble breathing. In serious cases, it can also raise the levels of inflammation in the blood and cause clots to form that may block blood vessels and cause stroke or heart attack. Now the crazy thing is, tinfoil hat, I've heard other reasons for why so many people are getting blood clots and heart issues. Never have I ever heard that it was in conjunction to a wildfire smoke issue. Let me know what you guys think about that one right down in the comments. Eager to hear your comments on that one. But like I said, if you guys don't have a high quality air filter and you guys want to get one, like I said, best bang for the buck as far as quality goes that I've found. It's the one that I use. And when I didn't have one, I built a different kind, which is also easy to do at home. Either option, probably a good option to have on standby in case this thing picks up. Even worse than it has in areas that you don't feel like is affected yet. Again, links in the description and the pinned comment. I will keep you guys informed as things progress. That way you can stay ahead of the curve. Make sure that notification bell's on. Like, share it if you guys would like to keep people informed with me, because I got a lot more coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.